Apprentice! We gather once again to peer into the archives of the Dungeon Master's Guild and see what treasures it holds, and how they can help you develop as a game master. Today, we're looking at 2 adventures, so be warned of spoilers for the plots and secrets of these scenarios. See It Through is an advanced scenario about a haunted villa and the secrets that lay inside. The Thing in the Basement is a side quest that can be dropped into any campaign that shows how you can elaborate on encounters to turn them into more than just a random monster. See It Through is a one-shot adventure scenario for characters levels 15 or 16. The PCs are tasked with investigating a haunted manor where a sorceress was performing arcane experiments. When they arrive, players find the haunting was a ruse to keep townsfolk away from the real danger. A house built to access a demiplane inside a powerful magic mirror, where their reflections are fighting to escape. It's a potentially interesting adventure with a great hook, but how does it hold up? By the nature of its conceit, See It Through will require a little more preparation and thought from the Dungeon Master than a typical adventure module. The central conflict of the adventure centers around the players fighting mirror universe versions of themselves amidst a, quote, Home Alone style battle encounter, unquote. So these encounters and tactics have to be tailored to the party. As part of a regular campaign, this can come a little easier as you simply invert the party's favorite tactics against them, and have the mirror universe versions use spells and abilities to prepare to counter some of those favorite tactics. Standalone play of this adventure is probably better done with a set of pre-generated characters, so that as a GM, you're less pressured to come up with tactics and situations on the fly and instead can plan and prepare. One suggestion you might consider to make things a little more dynamic is to give the villains a special action to reflect their perfect insight into the PCs. I Knew You Were Gonna Do That would give one of the anti-PCs advantage on an attack or saving throw per turn, or give a player disadvantage. While leaving a few spaces blank is understandable with the structure of this adventure, See It Through doesn't do a lot of work describing the house itself beyond the maps and an inventory of each room. The module is also vague on some of its more interesting encounters and mechanics. The encounter with the mirror beast is illustrative. The creature dwells inside the reflection of a mirror, so the beast can attack anyone in the room, but players have to maneuver so their reflections are attacking the beast. However, players blocking the view of the mirror mean the beast can't be seen or attacked, and the beast can get cover from reflections in the foreground. As written, there aren't any clear rules to determine when the mirror may be obstructed or to what degree. The Home Alone portion of the adventure, where players have time to prepare the house with different tricks and traps, is an interesting idea, but the execution here also falls short. Simple, improvised traps simply don't pose much of a threat or danger to 15th level characters, save as terrain obstacles. 1d6 damage from a fall or an oil trap just isn't that much when you're looking at enemies that have more than 100 hit points. What See It Through does spend time describing is the gnomish cleric Martin, who spends much of the adventure holding the characters' hands and walking them through the mysteries of the house. In an ongoing campaign, a sage or mentor can be an interesting character. In a one-shot, it's really just stealing opportunities from the players. See It Through is still worth a look for dungeon masters that are looking for interesting adventures for their players or simply just inspiration. The quickest improvement to make the adventure pay off would be to run the adventure at a much lower level, where the improvised traps and dangers can be more decisive. This makes the experience more rewarding for players when they see their clever preparations and work swing the tide of a battle. The NPC Martin could also be trimmed out, giving players more of an opportunity to discover the mysteries of the house on their own. The adventure also does leave a few threads hanging that could be used as fuel for further adventures down the line. Finding out what happened to the house's owner, what else is happening in that mirror realm, where did that great mirror come from? The Thing in the Basement is a short mystery adventure written for low-level characters that can be dropped into any existing campaign with just a little bit of tinkering. In the adventure, the owner of the Death Hound Tavern has come under suspicion after a member of staff went missing, and the players need to find the culprit before the town resorts to mob justice. During the course of the short adventure, there's plenty of opportunity for role-playing as the PCs interview local NPCs, many of which are sketched out neatly with physical descriptions, personalities, and character character quirks to make them a little more memorable than just another generic shopkeep. There are also some light investigation and combat elements in the adventure, as PCs try to find out what happened to the missing boy. For a short adventure, the module does a few things well that dungeon masters should take note of for their own adventures. When building a mystery or an investigation, it's important to provide multiple clues that point at the truth. Even better if the clues can be found across a variety of skills. The Thing in the Basement provides a few suggested clues to get the players pointed in the right direction. There are, of course, the interviews with NPCs that rely on role-playing and social skills. There are also a few suggested clues that might point the players in the right direction. For example, there may be strange scratching noises coming from the basement. The bottoms of barrels are coated in a strange drool-like substance, and the number of barrels doesn't quite match what's in the ledger, in addition to finding the boy's bones chewed up and spat out. Even a big half-orc couldn't swallow a man whole. Second is a sense of escalation. Sometimes, if players don't take a hint or are simply taking too long, you need to up the stakes of the adventure. The Thing in the Basement suggests a few ways to spur the PCs to action if they're stuck or not showing interest. For example, the Mimic can start to eat more people, or even try to eat one of the players if you just want to wrap things up. Third, your world feels more alive if actions and adventures have consequences that resonate into the future. The Thing in the Basement offers up to 4 potential outcomes depending on what happens to the Mimic and what happens to Grimsby, the Tavern Keep. If players exonerate the half-orc, they can get a fast friend and a free base of operations in the area. If the players can't help him, the half-orc could become an antagonist down the road. And just maybe that Mimic keeps eating people and keeps growing bigger. The Thing in the Basement is a great example of how you can use monsters as more than just simple encounters, and how you can structure a side quest. This adventure would work really well running alongside other events happening in the area, and the collection of NPCs could be the core of a starting area in your campaign. And The Thing in the Basement provides a few reasons why players might be in the area, suggesting other adventures. That's all the time we have to review for this evening, but I hope you've gotten something from what we've looked at today, whether it's just inspiration or a new adventure to explore at your table. If there's an indie mod, adventure, or supplement you'd like us to review, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can catch each and every upload. Thank you.